My girlfriend called me her princess. I'm 6'3", 240 pounds, covered in tattoos from my Marine Corps days. Everyone assumes I'm this tough guy who doesn't do feelings. My girlfriend Victoria started calling me her princess 3 months ago as a joke after I got emotional during the opening scene of Up. I pretended to hate it around our friends, rolling my eyes and telling her to knock it off, but secretly I loved it. Every time she said it when we were alone, something in my chest would loosen, like I could finally breathe. I'd never told anyone this, but after 2 deployments and watching 3 of my buddies come home in boxes, I'd spent the last 4 years convinced that being vulnerable made you weak, that caring about anything too much was dangerous. Victoria never pushed. She'd just call me her princess while we watched TV, or whisper it when she thought I was asleep. Those 2 words made me feel more seen than any therapy session the VA ever offered. Last Tuesday, I came home early from my construction job. My boss sent everyone home at 2 p.m. because a cement delivery got delayed. I was actually excited because Victoria worked from home on Tuesdays, and I thought I'd surprise her with takeout from that Thai place she loves. I walked in quietly, planning to scare her as a joke. That's when I heard her voice coming from our bedroom. Of course I call him that. He eats it up. My hand froze on the doorknob. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I might throw up. He acts all tough, but the second I call him princess, his whole face lights up, she continued, laughing. It's honestly kind of pathetic how desperate he is for affection. I stood in that hallway for what felt like an hour, but was probably 30 seconds. Every muscle in my body locked up the same way they did during my first firefight in Kandahar. Flight or fight response. Except this time I couldn't do either. She kept talking. I mean, I love him. But sometimes I wonder if he'll ever actually deal with his issues instead of just waiting for me to fix him with pet names. I grabbed my keys off the counter and left. I didn't slam the door. I didn't make a sound. I just walked out like a ghost. My phone started blowing up within 10 minutes. 12 missed calls, 23 texts. I turned it off and drove to my buddy Josh's place. He's the only guy from my unit who made it back relatively okay. I told him everything. He listened, handed me a beer, and said, "Man, that's rough, but are you sure that's what she meant?" I spent that night on his couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment Victoria had called me princess, trying to figure out which ones were real and which ones were her laughing at me behind my back. For 2 days, I ignored her completely. She showed up at Josh's place on Wednesday evening. He opened the door, took one look at her crying, and said, "He's in the garage."